Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Colligo Community Engagement event. My name is James. I will be your host for tonight. Throughout the sections, we have two gentlemen as our guests. Mr. Julian So, CEO of Extreme Business Enterprise, will be representing Colligo. We also have Mr. Toby O'Connor, the CEO of Coinllectibles. May we welcome both gentlemen, please.
Thank you, James. Hi, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be present here today for this session so that we can answer any questions that you may have. However, I think more importantly, we want to bear in mind that the primary purpose of today's session is not to answer a lot of technical questions, which you can find on the internet if you do a bit of due diligence on us. But more importantly, I hope that we can use this session to actually demonstrate how passionate we are about our project, how excited we are, and how committed we are to make sure that this token is a success. And please feel free to ask difficult questions. What we want to do is to make sure that you're comfortable about being part of this Colligo token community. With that, let me hand over to Mr. Toby O'Connor.
Thank you, Julian. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really looking forward to the time we've got together today. Coinllectibles is about art and technology. Those are our passions. We're in a really exciting marketplace, and I'd love to use this time to really talk about how Coinllectibles is going to be working with Colligo and the opportunity ahead of us. Thank you, James.
As you know, today is about Ask Me Anything. For those who are on our YouTube live, please feel free to ask any questions like on our live chat. We are happy to answer them. Here comes the first questions. What is Colligo token and what can it? Right.
Look, I think the Colligo token, this project has been something that my team has been working on for a very long time. We have been very excited about it. We thought a lot about how we're going to do this token and how it should be different from everything else that's out there. To be honest, we are very proud that it is really a community-first token. And by that, I mean that when we went through and we thought through all of the tokenomics and all of the features that we have within the tokens, we were only concerned about how the Colligo token community will benefit from holding these tokens, and we hope that this is something that you are just as excited about as we are. Thank you, James.
Okay. Toby, could you tell us more Coinllectibles and how you guys partner with Colligo?
Sure. From a Coinllectibles perspective, we are an arts and technology company, and really our mission is to improve the overall experience in the art and collectibles sector, and we do that through enhancement of efficiency, transparency, accessibility, and clearly community building is a really important part of that. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to spend a minute or so in terms of our primary area of expertise and development, which we've been working on for some time over the year, which is the Fusion NFT. Obviously, the NFT market broadly has taken off. It's a very exciting place to be. And what we've spent a lot of time doing is really creating what we call the gold standard NFT in the marketplace. It has all kinds of good stuff around legal documents addressing transparency and certificate of ownership, really authenticity around a collectible, and attaching one Fusion NFT to one physical piece. And we think we've got something special there, and we've been able to think about how we can partner with different parts of the broader community. We're blockchain agnostic. We can work with different marketplaces. We can work with different partners. We're building communities around artists, different forms of collectibles. It's very exciting. A key part of that is how we're engaging and building and working with communities interested in all forms of art and collectibles. And we see this as an opportunity with Colligo to work with a passionate partner in reinforcing those values around the community that we're trying to build.
So Julian, just want to know that as a fan of art, in my personal life, I have a lot of artist friends, and I would like to know how Colligo can support the art community.
Well, the Colligo tokens are meant to really focus on supporting the art community, right? And to be honest, right now, I think although the NFTs is actually very, very popular among the crypto natives, you will notice that a lot of the art that is available right now are mostly digital art, which is great, right? There's a lot of support that's going to a lot of digital artists at the moment. However, as you can imagine, because very few people are actually able to connect the NFT to the physical art pieces, many physical art pieces artists are actually missing out on this great development in the crypto space, right? And as Toby just mentioned, I think one of the reasons why Colligo is so excited about working with Coinllectibles is precisely because they've created the Fusion NFT, where the NFT actually represents the legal ownership title to a physical piece of art. And finally, I think we hope that we can get the crypto community very excited about being able to finally buy NFTs that are actually linked to physical art pieces. And I think this is very, very big, it's huge. And through the Colligo tokens, obviously by using Colligo tokens to actually buy these NFTs, we can then bring more support from the crypto community to the artists of physical art pieces. Thank you, James.
Great. I love that answer. Toby, what about well, as I mentioned, as a fan of arts, right? And how do you see Coinlectible future, right? What kind of artists are you guys working with? Like music? Is it like more on collectibles? Or paintings, sculptures, or anything like that? Would you tell us more about what kind of arts you guys are interested to mint in NFT?
Yeah. So you look at the broader art and collectible space, and in some way the problem statement as well as the opportunity in it. It's a massive market. There are different estimates out there in terms of size, but approaching 1.7 trillion in terms of absolute size. So it's meaningful in size, of which only a small percentage would actually be traded each year. It's a well-performing asset class. It does, however, have some elements of opaqueness to it in terms of how it works, concentration of who's participating in it, and maybe some limitations in opportunity for new people to come in. What we're focusing on, excuse me, what we're focusing on is the broader collectible space, focusing first around the artist community. So we're working with a range of artists in Asia, in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in the Middle East, across different art forms. And really what we're looking for are artists that are exciting, that have pieces that are different, maybe a story behind them. And that can extend into a range of different art forms. As you've probably seen on our website, we've had some success around ceramics that we've put forward, and we're really tapping into those different types of communities and their different interests around art. So really, the answer to your question is all of the above, as long as it's exciting, it's different, and it works well with the technology. And we're in that phase where the market is developing very well, very rapidly, increasing in size, and we really want to be substantive in terms of what we're putting into the marketplace with high quality items.
Okay, let me pass on to Julian. I would like to ask Julian more about the tokenomics behind Colligo.
Sure. Thank you, James. Look, I think I'm going to do an answer that's a little bit more than that. Let me just talk a little bit about why Colligo tokens are actually different from the regular tokens that you see today, right? Look, number one, a lot of token issuances are done really for the primary purpose of funding a specific project, right? And as I mentioned earlier, the reason why we are a community first token is because we found a project that's already existing, that is already developing, and that's already functional. And we use that project for the purposes of our token. This means that we do not actually have to raise more monies in order to fund the project, in order to ensure that the tokens are successful. So all of that money that's going to be raised in other cases where they're used for the purposes of funding a project, all of that is actually going to be put back into the liquidity pool, right? And that's for the benefit of the community. That's number one. Number two, if you look at the market cap of our tokens, right, at the point of issuance, you realize that on a fully diluted basis, the market cap of tokens is just $1 million, right? And that is actually extremely important to consider when you actually buy the tokens. Why do I say that? Look, if you enter into a token today where its market cap is already $100 million, then in order for the token to actually increase in value by 10 times, it would mean that the entire market cap would have to be $1 trillion. And you'd be hard pressed to think about, what kind of tokens and what kind of projects would be able to drive the token market cap all the way to $1 trillion. Whereas in our case, because at launch, our market cap is only $1 million, it means that even if it were to increase by 100 times, it would only be $100 million. And that provides the community with a lot of potential and with a lot of room for growth. Now, why do I think Colligo tokens as a market cap should be worth way more than $1 million? It's very simple. I think if you look at how well Coinllectibles is doing today, right? As of today, if you look at the total transactions that's being done on the Fusion NFTs, at least on an annualized basis, right now the turnover volume is round about $100 million on a turnover basis. Now, once you realize that that's the case, it becomes very easy for us to imagine why Colligo tokens, in terms of its market cap, could be a lot more valuable than what it is today, right? And for those three reasons, I think that our Colligo tokens is intended to precisely to benefit the Colligo token community. And I hope that our community would be able to enjoy this, would be able to share this with us, and would be able to be excited, as excited and as passionate as we are with respect to our tokens. Thank you, James.
Julian, how about the pre-sales and also the pricing related to Colligo tokens. Could you tell us more about? Especially, I would like to know that how soon can we buy the tokens? Julian?
Okay. So first of all, I understand that there has been some tiny discrepancy between the pre-sale price and the launch price. In reality, when we initially initiated the project, our intention was that the pre-sale price and the launch price would be exactly identical, which is at 0.1 cent US. The reason why there's a slight discrepancy right now is actually because of the fluctuation in the price of BNB, because ultimately, the entire exchange is based on BNB and it's not based on US dollars, and that's why there's a slight discrepancy. It's not intended to be the case, but it is the case right now, just simply because of the BNB price. Now, as to when we can actually start to buy NFTs, look, we have an arrangement with Coinllectibles, and we're really delighted that Coinllectibles has agreed to be our utility provider. Our arrangement is that, technically speaking, as soon as you have the tokens, you would be able to use the tokens to buy Fusion NFTs from Coinllectibles. Right? Coinllectibles has accepted Colligo tokens as a mode of payment for the Fusion NFTs. But what is more exciting is the fact that our arrangement with our partnership with Coinllectibles is that they will have an exclusive Colligo series where there will be special benefits for the buyers who are using Colligo tokens to buy those Fusion NFTs, which represent obviously the physical art pieces. And I think that's where it gets very, very exciting. However, with respect to the exclusive Colligo series, we will actually have to be patient, give Coinllectibles a bit of time to put the art pieces together, but I strongly believe that they will be available very, very soon. But again, just a short answer to your question is that as soon as you have received the Colligo tokens, technically speaking, they are already accepted as payment for any Fusion NFTs from Coinllectibles.
Thank you, Julian. Toby, so could you tell us a little bit more about the objective of Coinllectibles?
Yeah, let me also pick up on those good comments that Julian made as well, because this is an important partnership and we're very excited about it. And we have said and we're looking forward to providing some further details in the near term, but we will be doing a launch of some special pieces that are specific to the Colligo token, and we're very excited about that, and we look forward to that being successful, where the Colligo token will be used to be able to acquire those pieces, and then off we go from there. But I think it's a broader project than that. It's a broader partnership, and the way I think about it is really around that community building. That's our objective here, is people who are passionate, excited about art, and can see how they can work with Coinllectibles with the token, and this could include some kind of mystery drops that we come up with, some fun things, some exclusive events, things like that around art and collectibles that are made accessible to the Colligo token holders. We're thinking about the influence that community can provide in who we work with in terms of the artists. And to your earlier question, James, the types of art that we bring to the market, the choice of blockchain that we work on, the type of the marketplaces, and other community developments, and that includes areas like ESG, super important. So it's really about reinforcing. We saw in the token was an opportunity to reinforce our values, and hopefully vice versa.
That was very clear, loud and clear. Julian, so what is Fusion NFT, and what is the best Fusion NFT have been sold so far? Could you tell us a little bit more about?
Sure. Look, I think obviously Toby has actually already mentioned Fusion NFTs, but I think I'm going to just give it one more shot and explain what it is. Look, as far as we are concerned, Fusion NFTs are basically a fusion of a tangible asset and an intangible asset. The tangible asset being the physical collectible or art piece, and the intangible asset actually being the NFT or the token, which is from the virtual world, right? And that's why they're called Fusion NFTs. And I think, if I'm not wrong, Collectibles has actually trademarked this phrase, Fusion NFTs, because it is so special to Collectibles. Now, this, again, Collectibles, like I said, is an existing project that's already made a lot of progress. In answer to your question, there have been many Fusion NFTs that have actually already been sold. A large number of them have actually been resold, and right now they're all available currently on the OK Exchange. We are hoping that in a very, very near future, we will actually be able to bring those NFTs back to Coinlectibles' own metaverse platform, and there we would actually be able to see even more variety of these Fusion NFTs, which will be made available for all our Colligo token community to actually be able to purchase and buy and to be able to brag about. I think, look, one of the most important things about art, obviously, is that and I've had experience myself, right? A lot of people buy art, and after they have enjoyed it for a certain period of time, it actually goes into storage. But I think if you buy any of these art pieces from Collectibles, you could actually choose to leave the art piece in the gallery of Collectibles, so that the whole world, or at least everyone around the gallery, can actually go to the gallery, have a look at the art piece with your name on it, if that's what you desire. And you would actually be able to tell people that this is a piece of art that you actually own. And I think that's actually a wonderful feature, which I really, really love. And that's the reason why Colligo is so excited about working with Collectibles, or in partnering with Collectibles with respect to our tokens. Thank you, James.
The key difference out from all those NFT out there? I think these questions could either answer by Toby or Julian.
There's a lot of NFTs in the market. I think people, the listeners on the call, probably are well versed in terms of how fast the market has moved in the NFT space on a quarter-by-quarter basis this year. It's very exciting. You know, what we've really tried to do here is we spent a lot of time earlier, really as things were moving, to define what we thought would be the gold standard in NFT, and which we call the Fusion NFT, and it's different from other NFTs in terms of the way we've put it together, the information, the content that we have in the NFT, and then how we make it available into the marketplace. So in our NFT, which will sit on IPFS, it's got a bunch of legal documents that address the ownership, the sale and purchase, the terms under which Coinlectibles hold the piece while it's under a third-party ownership, the way we transfer it, and the ownership deed itself, and really what we've created here through this and through the artificial intelligence we're using, through the technology that we've put on it, is a digital fingerprint of that physical piece, one NFT, Fusion NFT to one physical piece. That also includes some really cool technology in terms of how you look at the piece and how you can enjoy it. And to Julian's comment, absolutely right. We have a gallery in Hong Kong. A lot of the owners are choosing to display the piece in that with their name and all the rest of it, but it could be sent anywhere. It could be in a vault, it could be in a home, and it's really about both the ownership and the way that the owner can enjoy that that NFT and the physical piece. And I think that's differentiating against other NFTs that are out there.
Okay, thank you, Toby. Julian, let me see for the next questions. So as a token investor, how of Colligo tokens, could you tell us something that you think it's important, which is not written yet on the Q&A on Colligo homepage?
Right. Look, I think one of the points that I think I would really like to make, or take this opportunity to talk about, is this. I mentioned earlier how the entire market cap of the Colligo tokens on a fully diluted basis is only just $1 million US, right? In reality, there are actually a lot of crypto investors out there, or crypto holders out there, that easily have $1 million US and could actually buy up the entire market cap. And that's not what we want, right? A lot of tokens look for a single VC investor, or look for a single strategic investor, or several strategic investors. And they end up holding on to a large chunk of the tokens. And the regular investors have to worry about whether or not they're going to sell down into the market and hurt the regular investors. And we have actually created our tokenomics such that this will not happen. And how do we prevent that? Basically, right now, in total, okay, we are really talking about raising only 600 BNBs, right? And what we've required, and notwithstanding that this is actually in some ways detrimental, or not detrimental, but it slows down the rate at which we can actually close out the entire transaction. We've actually limited each wallet to just 1 BNB, right? And the real reason we want this is because, as Toby mentioned earlier, we are all about community building. We actually want and hope to see 600 different individuals subscribe for our tokens, and to be able to participate in the development as well as the success of the tokens going into the future. We do not want a few people to get rich from this. We actually want the entire community to actually be able to benefit from what we're doing here, right? And to be honest, look, if you look into the entire NFT market at the moment, I think you'll be hard-pressed to find a project, right, like the one that we have with Coinllectibles, where the Fusion NFT actually represents the legal ownership title to a physical art piece. And it actually contains legal documents to determine possession as well, right? So the NFT holder could come into our gallery or come into Coinllectibles gallery at any point in time, show them that they hold the NFT, and they can then request for Coinllectibles to deliver physical possession to the NFT holder. And that is something we find really amazing. Nothing else out there compares at the moment. And we think that the Colligo tokens will be very successful. And as I mentioned earlier, we would like our entire community to be able to benefit from it. Okay, and not only that, right? After the launch is completed, meaning that the tokens become freely available for purchase, which is not after the pre-sale is over, and the tokens are freely available for purchase in the open market. We have actually set restrictions so that for the first 6 days, the amount of tokens each wallet can actually buy in the open market is actually also restricted. Again, the reason is because we want to give the opportunity to allow as many people as possible to participate in this, right? We don't want one person to come in, bring in $1 million and buy all the tokens. We want 1 million people, hopefully, to each hold one token I think it's more beneficial to us from a community building perspective than having one person own 1 million tokens. So that's the way we look at this. And we feel very strongly about this because we are really all about community building. Thank you, James.
Julian, I guess that answer a lot. Next questions we should have for Toby. Toby, could you tell us your visions of the Coinllectibles?
Yeah, it's our vision for Coinllectibles is really to be at the forefront of the evolution of the digital and physical areas of art and collectibles, and it's very exciting. Art and collectibles have been around for a very long time. It's a big market, but what's happening now in terms of the metaverse that a lot of people are talking about, around the bridging of the virtual with the physical, that's really where we're focusing and spending a lot of time thinking about, in terms of how do we define ourselves and how are we relevant and exciting in that metaverse space that we're operating in, and really bridging that virtual arena into the physical space. So our vision is to be at the forefront of that, to be a leader, to have the best NFT in the market. We've already come up with some evolution of our own NFT in a relatively short period of time, just make it more accessible, be able to make sure we get all that content that I talked about before in a format that can be distributed in as many ways as possible. We've got some fantastic technology people in our team working on that, and really building the trust with the artist communities, with the collectors communities, and being at the forefront of that market. And really, there's a lot of blue sky there for us to go after. But very grounded, I think, in the near term of picking our partners well, picking our relationships well, and making these kinds of initiatives around the community and the people who are equally excited about getting involved with Coinllectibles part of that journey.
Julian, the next question for you is there any plan to be the top exchange soon? To be honest.
Thank you, James. No worries. Look, I think the pancake swap is only the first step, right? Like I mentioned earlier, we go through pancake swap because we really would like to reach out and bring in a community that is interested in physical arts and collectibles. Okay, and I think we're definitely going to be successful there. I'm very, very confident about that. Look, we get a lot of questions about whether or not we are intending to or have any plans to actually list the Colligo tokens on centralized exchanges that are, the main exchanges. And to be honest, that process is already started. It's already in place. To be honest, as Toby, I'm not sure whether Toby mentioned earlier, but a lot of the Fusion NFTs are actually already available on OK Exchange, which is one of the top few centralized exchanges that is currently in the market. Over and above that, we have been in talks with Binance, with Coinbase, and obviously without putting words into their mouth, right? It is a conversation that we are actually constantly talking about, and it's something that are already in the works. It's not something that we are waiting for a response on. We're actually already in conversation, and I strongly believe that if we have these 600 individual wallets and individuals being part of our Colligo token community, we're confident that we'll definitely be able to get ourselves listed on one of these exchanges sooner rather than later. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Julian. The next question is for Toby. Would you? I think this is going to be the most popular questions from a lot of our audience right now. Would you expand Fusion NFT to from paintings to digital prints, digital art?
Yeah, I mean it's a key area of our focus, and listen, the Fusion NFT, we spent a lot of time putting it together in the format that we did, working with different partners, working with our technology people to get it ready. And, you know, it's been a lot of fun to see the success we've enjoyed in the first launches that we've put into the marketplace. So the answer to that is around the physical space that we're operating in. We're absolutely looking at a variety of different art and collectibles that we want to bring to market, and we can do it on so much. So absolutely, you know, where we're a little bit different to the other NFTs in the market is we're less focused on the digital space. We're not involved in fractionalization. You know, all these areas are relevant, very relevant to the broader NFT market. In the Fusion NFT model, it's really focusing on physical pieces and trying to really be focused on absolute clarity in terms of authenticity and certificate of ownership around that physical piece. As you start to move into some of these very exciting areas, and a lot of areas are enjoying a lot of success, like fractionalization, like digital, the rest of it, it's a slightly different discussion. So think of us very much, certainly in this time frame, continuing to focus on a broadening range of collectibles and art forms in the physical space.
Julian, could you please explain all parts of tokenomics, especially the community reserve for the artist pool, and how significant part of tokenomics will be released?
Right. Look, we are actually very, very transparent in terms of you know, how the tokens are being used and how they're being released. As a matter of fact, I think you know that our codes are actually being audited by CertiK. And as part of the audit, one of the requirements was for us to actually indicate all of the wallet addresses of all of the different parts of the tokenomics, so that we are fully transparent to all token holders. So you can actually watch those wallets, see how the tokens are being used, where they're actually being transferred, and how much tokens there are left in each of these wallets, right? So the whole point is that there will not be a situation where you will never see a situation where, for example, tokens are being sold back into the market without you realizing it. I think that's number one. I want to emphasize is the fact that we are fully transparent. Now, coming back to the purpose of the community reserve, look, our original intention was to actually be able to try and find a way to actually pay tokens back to our token holders. However, obviously, from a legal perspective, there were concerns that if there was some kind of a return on the tokens, that they may be seen as security tokens. And that's the reason why we have not done that. So instead, what we're going to do right now is that we're going to use the community reserve. And instead of doing burn, which is being done by some other tokens, which we think is actually a bit of a waste because we're just destroying tokens, we would actually rather use these tokens and reward our token holders and reward our NFT holders. So it will be more like an Easter egg, right? There's nothing that's fixed, so that it's not a return or not an investment return. But I hope our token holders would be eager and would be very surprised and very excited when we start announcing how we might be distributing part of these tokens within the community reserve back to the community, right? And like I said, as far as we're concerned, the community includes both the Colligo token owners as well as the Fusion NFT owners. And that's how we're going to use the community reserve. It's actually to return a lot of tokens back to our community. As far as the artist pool is concerned, again, as you know, in the previous question, as Toby has mentioned, our intention is obviously to be able to extend Fusion NFTs to all kinds of art, right? Like one of the previous questions was asking whether or not we will extend, or whether Coinlectibles will extend it to paintings. The truth of the matter is that it will be extended to paintings. It will be extended to sculptures. We are actually, I believe that Coinlectibles is now in talks with watch manufacturers, because we feel that one-of-a-kind watch pieces are also collectibles. So imagine you could actually use Colligo tokens to buy a one-of-a-kind Swiss watch. I think that would be really amazing. And very, very interesting. And what the artist pool is going to be used for is essentially to be able to help us to build artists, to be able to incubate artists, to be able to reward artists for their works and for their partnerships with Coinlectibles as well as with Colligo tokens or the Colligo community, right? In fact, one of the use case for Colligo tokens is, for example, is to allow our community to actually vote for who they think is the artist that they love, or is an artwork that they particularly enjoy. And for example, in one of the cases, you may be able to vote for an artist to provide an artwork on the face of an expensive one-of-a-kind Swiss watch. And then once we have actually manufactured that watch, we can then put that watch back into the market and allow the community to use Colligo tokens to go and purchase it. And I think that's where it's actually very, very exciting. Fusion NFTs, like I said, is an intellectual property that's owned by Coinlectibles. It actually refers to any kind of tangible asset that's being fused with the NFT. And therefore, technically speaking, it's a very, very broad range of items that you can do a Fusion NFT on. But obviously, as far as Coinlectibles is concerned, they're really focused on collectibles. And as far as collectibles is concerned, it's not really just art pieces. It could be, like I said, watches. It could be cars. It could be motorbikes. Anything that you can think of that is being collected by people out there will be able to form part of the pool of assets which Coinlectibles will be minting into Fusion NFTs in the future. And I think we should be really looking forward to that. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Julian. Let's see the next questions. When is hold on a second, tokens going to be commenced?
Okay, maybe let me take that question. Look, we are 100% behind staking. Okay, we want to implement staking as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, we have actually been doing the research on how to implement the staking. We believe that that's going to be available very, very shortly. I can't tell you exactly precisely when that will be, but rest assured that is something that we're actually working on right now, and we will roll it out as soon as we can. Thank you, James.
One more question. And the question is there any marketing plans before launch on PancakeSwap? Julian?
Yeah, let me take that question as well. Look, we have actually done very, very little marketing up to today. Okay, the reason, as I mentioned before, is that we are a community-first token, And that's the reason why we're not going to spend a lot of money doing marketing whilst we get to the launch, right? We as a team understand that we should only be doing the marketing after the launch. And the reason is very simple, right? We are very confident that all of our tokens will be bought out at the end of the public pre-sale, which starts very shortly today. Okay, very, very confident. I have no doubt that it will happen, right? If you look at the number of whitelists we have, we have 1,000 whitelists, and we can only cater for 600 BNBs, right? I've seen a lot of questions before in our Telegram chat about why out of 1,000 people who have whitelisted, why are they not already in the tokens itself and have bought the tokens? I actually strongly believe that a lot of our whitelisted users were holding back because they want to listen to this AMA before they decide to actually buy the tokens. And I think that's fair, right? I think it's only natural. The ones who have done it before the AMA obviously are so confident they don't really need to worry too much about it. But for the majority, I can understand that they would want to listen to this AMA before they jump in and actually buy the tokens. So I have no doubt that our tokens will be sold out at the end of the public pre-sale. Okay. Now, because we're so confident of that, we've actually reserved all of our firepower and all of our resources to do marketing only after the launch, because that would then be able to help us bring in more investors, which will result in higher prices for the tokens, which will then benefit the community who came in and bought our tokens at pre-sale. And that's what we think about all day long. We think about how or what we can do to benefit our community. And that's exactly what we've done. So I want everyone to be confident, and I want everyone to feel comfortable that we are definitely going to do a lot of marketing, but we're only going to do it after the launch, because that's where and that's how we think we can benefit our community most. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Julian. Is there any final thoughts from Toby?
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed the time we've had on the call, and I hope this has been a good opportunity and a good use of a time for our listeners to understand more about the relationship and our intent around the development of Coinllectibles and how important this relationship is and why we're doing it. It's not about raising money. It's about building the community, and in so doing, reinforcing values that are important to Coinllectibles, that revolve around transparency, revolve around ownership, revolve around access to interesting forms of art in the international and developing art and collectibles market. And I think everybody probably has a sense of the opportunity broadly in terms of what's in front of us with the digital. And from our perspective, it's how we bridge that with the physical aspects in a very high quality way, working with very high quality partners, and we'll continue to do that. And this step with Colligo is really important, and we're very excited to see it successfully progress and continue to support it through a range of initiatives, and we're just getting started on that. Thank you very much, James. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Toby. Julian, as I know, the public pre-sale is on November 18, 8 a.m. New York time, and 9 p.m. Singapore time. Could you, if sorry, this is just the information to our community. If for those who are interested with our pre-sales, please join us on our Colligo's homepage. And if you guys want to know more about updates, please go to our either our Telegrams or any other social media channels like LinkedIn and so on. And I guess, Julian, do you have any final comments?
Oh, thank you, James. Look, I really just want to thank the audience for attending this session. I hope that you have kindly given us an opportunity to demonstrate how passionate, how excited, and how committed we are to this project. I hope we managed to demonstrate that to you. And in doing so, I hope that a lot of the people that are in our audience right now would eventually become part of the Colligo token community. We are here to stay. We are very, very committed to making the Colligo tokens a success. I find it difficult to understand why it would not be successful because, like I mentioned, we are the only project out there right now that is involved with Fusion NFTs, and being the, like I said, the legal ownership title to physical arts and collectibles. And I think that when collectibles successfully build their metaverse platform, I think you're going to be able to find that to be a very, very exciting and a very, very interesting platform with a lot of gamification, with a lot of engagement with the community. And I think this would be something that's going to be really, really exciting in the near future. So I look forward to having all of you becoming part of the Colligo token community, and hopefully we can continue to engage each other on the Telegram chat. I will do my best to answer more questions in the Telegram chat as much as I can. But again, like I said, it's not just me. We have an entire team to try and make this as successful as possible. Thank you, James.
And I guess you have answered a lot of questions from the communities. And for our communities and those who are interested without Colligo tokens, please feel free to ask questions on our Telegram channels. We're more than happy to answer you in details. And I guess we're running out of time. And until we have the next sections, stay tuned and good night. And thank you for your participations, everyone. Good night.